Hello and welcome to the Leckiju Lounge. This is your host Lex, and as my brother would always say, let's talk Bella. So welcome back. This is our very second episode of the podcast, and look, we have a pen, we have a paper. So let's get down to business. Today I want to talk about music. So everything music. I have so many notes because there's so much to talk about when it comes to music. Testing. Is this thing on? Okay. So, yeah, so much. And the reason I'm doing this on paper, honestly, I do prefer to write things down when it comes to like notes rather than type it. But also I'm filming on my phone, so it kind of forces me to do this, but it's okay. I do like writing. It also makes me feel like since I'm not in school and I haven't been in school for so many years that it makes me practice writing in general. So I did think that it would be appropriate to talk about music because the Grammys did happen recently. Also, the Super Bowl halftime show. What else? Oh, Lady Gaga's new album Mayhem dropped literally yesterday from when I'm filming this. So I did a deep dive into the album and I'm going to maybe give my ranking of the album because it's a full studio album. It's really good. So let's start with the Grammys. I am not a Grammys watcher per se. I'm not really an awards show watcher, at least for American television and American artists. I do watch K-pop award shows all the time. Because that's just like, it's very big in their culture. They do it like every week, literally after a debut. It's like every week for a certain amount of weeks and it's crazy. But I don't really get into like the American award shows, especially now because it's just very rehearsed and whatever. So the Grammys, I just made some notes about the important details that I wanted to talk about. Okay, so album of the year was Cowboy Carter. So that's kind of hard to say album of the year, right? I'm not personally, don't attack me. I'm not like a Beyonce fan, but I know the other albums that were in that category were like Short and Sweet, which I like. I'm a Sabrina stan. I don't necessarily think it would be album of the year, but I'm like her stan. And then also I feel like Brat did well. Like, although I wasn't a huge fan of it either, I just feel like it did well. But who's to say? Moving on. New artist, Chapel Roan, well deserved. I will say, like, I'm a big Sabrina stan again, but also I feel like, to me, Sabrina's been around. I've been a fan of hers for so long, and I understand that this was like a big break as a new artist, but I don't necessarily see her as a new artist because I've been listening to Sabrina since Thumbs on iHeartRadio. Like, and I was a stan immediately. I think her best release ever maybe was Sue Me. So if you haven't listened to her older stuff, go check it out. Sue Me was great. I really liked Fast Times, and that was slept on well. It has a music video and everything. Music video is great. She's gorgeous in it. Like, I don't know why people didn't really get into that because she's amazing. She's been amazing. And like so early in her career, I remember thinking, I was like, no one has a voice like this. She is so talented. Like, she's not just doing the pop girly thing. Like, she's got the voice. Anyways, so Chapel Roan, well deserved. And then country album. This was obviously controversial. The Beyonce winning the country album. Again, I didn't even listen to the whole album. And I'm not a country music lover, so I can't even say that these other people were robbed. I just thought that that was an interesting choice, but I don't need to talk about it much. Song of the year was Not Like Us, which I had not heard until after the Grammys. A moment of silence. But again, I didn't know. I saw that Kendrick Lamar won so many things at the Grammys, and then I also was like, oh, and he's doing the halftime show, which like, oh, that, like, as if that didn't line up. But I did not know what he looked like. Did not know a single song of his. Like, I couldn't tell you anything. And I know that sounds like I just live under a rock, but I don't really listen to rap music, like American rap music. It's just not really for me. But Not Like Us is a good song now that I've heard it, and it's like been very trendy since the Grammys and since the halftime show. I think it's fun. I'm obsessed with the little walk. They Not Like Us. Like, Anyways, I will say, I don't know how, it's so hard to say song of the year. Like, that's actually so crazy to choose. But anyways, I don't know what else it would have been. Like, none of the nominations were really my song of the year. So anyways, pop vocal album. Oh, that was a Sabrina win. So that was short and sweet. Good for her. Very happy for her. But then also, that was one of the only things I feel like Eternal Sunshine was nominated for. And then that puts me at like okay, happy for Sabrina Love, but Eternal Sunshine was up there. Was up there. Love that album. Okay, so pop solo performance, also Sabrina. That was Espresso. Great for her. Love Espresso. But again, like I was saying, I think it's great and it's catchy and it's very listener friendly, but I don't necessarily think that it's her best work. Like, her newer stuff is great and her writing is so fun, but like, it's been fun. That's why I don't get like the overhype on like Please 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 or Espresso, because I'm like, she's been great. She's been great. So we've been sleeping. Anyways, pop duo. This is the last one I had written down, was Die With A Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Well deserved. Well deserved. They did amazing, and they're really both such great artists that put together is just like, it's just recipe for greatness. I feel the same way with Rose and Bruno Mars. Theirs is more catchy, fun, and this one's more emotional. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on the Grammys. I did not watch like the whole ceremony at all. I watched some performances and looked at the nominations and the winners, because again, like, although I love them and Sabrina's probably like the person to root for me personally, none of them are my top artists that are like nominated or win. So, because I'm very much more on the K-pop side of things. Anyways, next point we have is the Super Bowl halftime show. My pen. So the Super Bowl halftime show, I did not watch until last night because I wanted to talk about it on here, but I was like, I have to watch it finally, okay? It's been a hot minute since the Super Bowl, but I finally watched it. And like I said, I didn't know who Kendrick Lamar really was. I've heard the name since I was a child, though. So I knew he had to be old. The other day I looked up how old he was because I was like, he's not old, okay? But I was like, he's got to be up there because he's been around for so long, yet I haven't heard a single song. Anyways, his performance was good. I think it looked like he had fun, and that's great. That's important. And the dancers, they ate that up. I really liked, my favorite part of it was when all the dancers were standing kind of on like bleachers or like different levels, and they did this like hand choreography, upper body choreography, and like head stuff, and it was really cool. That was probably my favorite part. And then of course his walk was, something about the way he does the walk is so funny. Like his legs did look very skinny. The pants he had on, like, they just looked skinny. And he had the bigger jacket on. He was like, the way his legs move, it's funny. I don't know. But he looked like he had fun. So happy for him. And I actually saw this video a friend sent me that was for Super Bowl 2026 that RuPaul should perform. And it was like them going through this whole of like what songs will be played, like the structure of it. And it was really cool. I mean, I don't think that will ever happen, but it's typically someone who everyone knows, which I think a lot of people, like older people who go to the Super Bowl and like they're just that generation, they know of RuPaul, whether they like him or not. A lot of them know of RuPaul. So I think it would be cool. The Lady Gaga album, let's get into it. It's called Mayhem and just came out yesterday for me. But when this comes out, it'll be like a week old already. And it's very much disco vibes. It's very disco and also Halloween. I think that this would be a great playlist for like a Halloween party. Especially if you did, oh my God, like a Halloween disco party for, oh my God, that'd be so lit. Maybe me next year. And then I want to get into each track just briefly. So I ranked them 1 to 14. There's 14 songs, which is really amazing to come from really any artist. It's hard to get full studio albums, but I love them. love them. But I'm not saying I don't like a mini album. Mini album's super fun, just like 6 songs. It's just, it's fun. It keeps you updated. So, at number 1, I have Abracadabra, and it will be, I listen to all those songs, nothing past it. For me, it's just the most dance, it's the most choreography, the music video is fire. I just loved it. Loved Abracadabra, okay? So, number 2, I have Perfect Celebrity. 1, I really like the meaning and the title, but then I also like the vibe of it was also more similar to Abracadabra as far as like beat, and something about me is I like music that you can dance to. Okay, so number 3, I have Zombie Boy. Zombie Boy, lit. I think my spot 1 through 5 or like 1, no, it's going to say 2 through 5 or 2 through 6 are all very close, just so we know. So Zombie Boy, love that. That was super fun. Kind of sounds like cheerleader at the beginning. I'm envisioning like the zombie movie, the Disney movie. Wait, what was it called? Zombies? Is it literally called Zombies? Where it has like, she's a cheerleader, the zombies. Like, I'm picturing very much that when you listen to it, because it's like Halloween, it seems camp. You're picturing also Glee, on Glee when they had the football players who were zombies, the cheerleaders. Like, I don't know, that's what I'm envisioning. Super fun. Then I have Garden of Eden. Again, love the title, love the meaning, but it also felt disco, very fun. Like, all of these felt disco. Okay, moving on. Number 5 is Killa. Killa was very Halloween for me, the most Halloween. And so I think it'd be great for a party. Number 6, I have Love Drug. Love the meaning, love the title. Because what she's describing of like, I don't want to feel anything, love that. And it's also like, the best drug, so to speak, in the world would be love. Like, you don't need those things. You don't need substances when you can have like in-person relationships, or even not, or when you can have music. That's how I feel, at least. Like, when I want the music to be just injected to my body, like, or even choreography, I feel that way too. It's like, I don't need anything else. Like, real human connections and relationships is like truly what you need to feel high, so to speak. Okay, moving on. Number 7, I have Shadow of a Man. So that one was fierce. I'm like blanking on what it sounded like right now, but I remember really vibing with it. Okay, number 8, I have Die With a Smile. So we were just talking about Bruno and Lady Gaga. I think it's great. And I didn't like it the first time I heard it, but that normally happens with me, and then songs grow on me. But it was like, it's very emotional, and also like I catch myself, it gets stuck in my head, and I'm just like, if the world was ending, you know what I mean? So I do vibe with it, and they're both such great artists and singers that it's really cool to see collaborations these days, because I feel like it's not as common, or it's more common. I don't know which one it is. It's like, I don't like also collaborations where they collaborate, but they weren't in the same studio, or it was just like they have a verse on their track. Like, this is a collaboration. They both harmonize, they sing together, they also filmed together, they also performed it at like live together. That's what I need. The test with collaborations is performing live together for me. Okay, number 9, I have Disease. Disease came out obviously a while ago. My brother really loves it, and he listens to it all the time, so I've heard it more through him, and I do like it. It's great. It's catchy for sure. Number 10, How Bad Do You Want Me? I like the meaning for sure. Number 11, I have Vanish Into You, and then that one was like kind of more sad disco to me. Number 12, I have The Beast. So The Beast was cool. It was like, I'm pretty sure it has like those piano sounds, kind of sad sounding, but also like mysterious to it, which I like. And then number 13 is Don't Call Tonight, and number 14 is Blade of Grass. I personally didn't love the last two as much, and that's just because they sounded more sad to me. And I don't know, I typically don't listen to sad music, but like if I listen to sad music, I'm like, okay, I want to lay in my bed and cry. But like I don't typically listen to sad music just to like vibe. It's not my favorite style, but she did eat, and like her voice is beautiful in them, obviously. So before I move off the topic of Lady Gaga, I would like to say that she needs to do more K-pop collaborations, okay? So in the past, she did Sour Candy with Blackpink, and that song still, like, I think it's still a bop. It still holds up. It gives very much clubby vibes, or like K-pop club night, okay? Because K-pop club nights have like, I guess, the more catchy ones and the ones that are like the dancey ones, right? So Sour Candy, you know the vibes. Sometimes they play that at one of my jobs, and it's like I didn't really love the song before, but when I hear it in like a public setting that normally doesn't play K-pop, I'm vibing with it, okay? And you know, if you're a K-pop fan, you know what I mean, because if you don't like a song but you hear it in public, you're still like, hey, for me, if I'm in Walmart and I hear like Butter by BTS, I was never a fan of that song. But if I hear it, or if I hear Dynamite in Walmart, I'm like, smooth like butter. I'm like getting into it. So you can't stop me. I will say one time, I've only heard an AT song one time in public, and that was in the mall at this store I can't even tell you the name of. But it was a newer store, very weird stuff that they had. It was anything from kind of just like sit around stuff, cute stuff. It had some snacks, and then they had like a K-pop section. So there was actual albums. They were selling them for outrageous prices, I must say. And like I remember seeing an ATEEZ album that I have for, I think I got it for like 26 or 22 bucks, I'm pretty sure, which is like a typical K-pop album price, right? And I'm pretty sure they were selling it for like 38. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I thought it was cool to at least see some of the albums in person that I've never seen. Like there were some old Twice albums there, and that was nice to see, and like hold to actually see the covers. But I'm like, never buying that. They were up pricing that $10 at least, everything. So, and I didn't see any ATEEZ albums that I didn't own. They only had newer ones, because maybe if they had older ones I would have spent the money, but no, they didn't. So anyways, this random store I don't know the name of, they played, I think it was Empty Box. Yes, it was Empty Box from ATEEZ Golden Hour Part 1. And I was living. Not only has no place played ATEEZ before, but to play a B-side, that was also, it's like their one, I guess, more somber, like, feelings type of song on that album. And they honestly don't even come out with many of those ever. And I love when they do, because their voices just like show so much emotion. But Empty Box played in the mall, and I was like, I can't leave. I can't leave. My family was trying to leave, like, as that song was playing. I was like, no, I'm staying here. I live here now. So that was great. Of course, I have heard ATEEZ one other time, but that was in a K-pop barbecue. Or maybe I heard them twice. I think twice. I've only been to K-pop barbecue places or Korean barbecue places 2 times ever, because I'm not really a huge meat lover, and that tends to, kind of go with it. And they're obviously expensive, but I've only been twice, and they did play ATEEZ at both. The first one was around Halazia time, a little bit after, so they played the Halazia music video, and I was like, oh my gosh, so exciting. Like, I have never seen ATEEZ in public before. And then the other one was, I think, the Crazy Form music video, and this was at a different Korean barbecue place. But I'm not counting those, because those are made for that. It's made to play K-pop music videos all the time. But to hear it in like a random place in a B-side, that's crazy. So segueing to K-pop I wanted to talk about my favorite groups. Okay, so my top 3. Number 1, ATEEZ. Period. I typically don't listen to male singers. I've talked with like a long time ago with some friends about this and my brother, and we talked about like it's odd that some people prefer to listen to male voices while some prefer female voices, and I don't really know what that is. I don't know what that is because it's not based on like what you are or attraction. Like literally everyone's different. So for me, growing up, I've always liked female voices more, and I've always like preferred to sing female parts or female songs and just liked the female parts. And I don't really know what that is. I do like deep voices as well, and I like masculine voices, but it doesn't resonate with me, and it's not as like diva serve down boots. So this was cool to get into ATEEZ because they didn't just seem like male singers, which I don't know, that's not a bad thing at all. I do not mean this in a bad way, but they weren't just like your typical male singers. They also weren't your regular concept. So I think as a whole, like watching them in the music videos and the dances, it's like with any K-pop, it's not very stereotypical of what we were raised with. So I say we, like everyone has the same upbringing as me, but like I guess it's just very different. And also like they have 2 rappers, which most K-pop groups, especially boy groups, have more rappers, and a lot of the percentage of the songs are rap, which I like Korean rap a lot. But for ATEEZ, it felt like they did less rap because they only had 2 and they each normally get a verse. But then there was more vocals in their songs, and I just really vibe with that. And so they stuck. I've been standing them now for 3 years, I think, almost exactly 3 years from this time. So that's kind of crazy. Anyways, my next favorite K-pop group is aespa. It's a girl group of 4. I talked about them briefly on my last episode, but the reason I like them so much is because their concept is so unique. It's also so future. And when I picture K-pop, I picture aespa. Okay, K-pop girl, I picture either Twice or aespa. And I think it's like it's a choose your path situation. So if the Twice route is more like fun concepts, high-spirited concepts, like dancey music, girl-coded, like we're having fun type of girl music. And then the aespa route and they obviously have songs that will mix, but aespa is more like clean cut, diva, techno beat, electronic dance music. And I love both, and I can get down with both. Like, I am a Twice girly and an aespa girly, but something about aespa's music videos and their fashion and their concepts just like kept me interested. They kept me in, and I, especially in recent 2 years, maybe the last 2 years, I've really loved every title track that they've come out with, and every music video I've been obsessed with. It started with Drama. Drama came out 2023, maybe like the end of 2023. So Drama by aespa is my favorite song, I think, to date, and my favorite music video to date, which is that is a bold claim. That's like a lot to say. And they're not, like, ATEEZ being my favorite group, they can't pass that. Like, I love them and I love everything they've done, but personally for me, like, at the end of the day, I like to watch the girls perform. I like the girls, okay? I love that. At the end of the day, I like the girls, okay? And aespa's, yes, their fashion is giving. I'm regretting that I didn't see them in concert, but I'm trying to just move past that, okay? So next, the third group, my third favorite group is XG. Now, XG is kind of controversial if they are K-pop or not, because they do promote in Korea. That's why I say that they are a K-pop group, and they do Music Bank, they do like Inkigayo, they do the award shows. But they are Japanese girls, and most of their music is in English. They also have some Japanese in there, but most of all of their songs are in English. So that's just like wild. Okay, K-pop group, Japanese girls, English. It's confusing, but what I love about them is they're so different and so authentic, and they're so fresh. Like their concepts, their styling is honestly so wild and wacky, but that's why I love it. And because no one else is doing it like that. Like for the concept that I really made them take off last year was Woke Up. It was like a mostly rap concept, and they had literally wolf costumes on, like basically wolf costumes. But something about it was so trendy. Like it was so cool. And their whole concept as like a group, because most K-pop groups have like an ongoing storyline through their music videos. Their fans are called alphas, which is like with a Z. So that's kind of silly, but it's a bigger meaning than what it seems like, dressing up like wolves. It's a bigger meaning because what they mean by that is like, we're a wolf pack. Like me and my girls, if you mess with one of us, like we're gonna get you. Like you don't want to play with us type of thing. They have a song called Girl Gang, and it's sort of the same meaning. It's basically like, you don't want to mess with one of us because you got to take all of us. We're a pack. Okay, so although it's camp to make it wolves and like actually dress like a wolf, it's like it makes sense with their concept, and it means more than that. You know what I mean? So love them. Their concepts and their outfits are crazy, and I love them. They have so many textures. So that's what I really love. I actually saw them in concert back in October, and it was amazing. I didn't realize how young they were. Like, even though I was a big fan of them, I then realized after that, they posted that it was one of their birthdays and they were turning 20, or maybe they were turning 19, and I was like, what? I'm 19. So you're telling me that girl I saw on stage, like, they don't seem old, but I thought that, like most K-pop groups I listen to, I figured they were 22-ish, which I think their oldest member is 22, but most of them, like, they fall under that. So 2 of them are 19 currently, and I was like, what? They're that young, and they've like lived I don't know how many lives, and they're performing, they're touring. This was their first tour, so they're relatively new artists, but it was cool to see. They did perform like every song they have. That's what I like about new artists, is because oftentimes they'll perform everything that they have released. And then they also did some cover performances. Like all of them got a solo stage, which is amazing to do solo stages as a first time tour. You know, that takes a lot of guts. And some of them performed their original songs. Some of them performed songs that already exist, like even American songs, because that way when you're touring in the US, your audience knows the songs. Like I think someone did a Taylor Swift song, and what else did they do? Someone did, don't make me close one more door, I don't want to hurt anymore. You know, don't even mind that throat little thing. So yeah, I think that was great. The concert was amazing. And speaking on concerts that I've been to, XG, amazing. I saw them in October. I think that's the last concert I've went to. I'm going to go in reverse order. Then last July, at the very end of July, I saw ATEEZ. That was, sorry to the rest of you guys, but the best concert I've ever been to, and maybe will ever go to. It was, I mean, obviously they're my ults, so it was so beautiful to see. And also I got 18 VIP, which is like the first tier of VIP. So I was in the front. The barricade there were two people in front of me and then barricade, but I'm 6'2" and I had a boot that was like an extra inch. So I was above the crowd, which means I got to interact with the members. Like literally all of them saw me. It was magical. I cried twice. And I cried twice, okay? Because it was emotional. They were singing Dreamy Day, which is not even an emotional song, but I was like, I was watching specifically, and I was like, that man is made to perform. He sings with such emotion. It's crazy. It's so cute. It's so admirable, like, to see people do what they want to do and do what they are meant to do. So that was great. And my outfit ate. I got to do send-off, so I got to see them up close. I got signed PCs. And then moving on, the concert I saw before that, November of like 2023, I saw Todrick Hall, who's a drag queen, drag performer. That's the only non-K-pop concert that I've seen. And he did amazing. I mean, I expected to do. It's still high performance, which I love a high performance anything. A concert, I need them to be dancing. His dancers ate. It was also at a very small venue, so I was up close, and that was cool. I felt like I needed to go because I've been a fan of Todrick Hall for a long time, and I listen to him casually now, but when I was a kid, some of his music videos were like brain altering for me, so I felt like I needed to go for my younger self especially. And I still listen to him. He's super cool, and I will say a lot of his music's kind of vulgar, but his writing is so it's so funny, but it's like really impressive also, because he'd be singing about the most random things or the most like vulgar things, but make it rhyme and make it like so funny at the same time. It's really fierce, and also just dance beats behind it. So he was great. And I also cried at that one. He had an amazing moment where he was singing in a dress, had like a wig, makeup and everything. And then he like turned around while some dancers were dancing. He took off the wig, wiped his full face of makeup off on stage, like aggressively. And then turned around at the end and like finished the song, still in the gown, but bald, no makeup. And it was just like, oh my God, I actually just got like chills and goosebumps. It was so beautiful, and like some things that he talked about, like not me getting choked up. This is not me getting choked up. It was so amazing. Like he was talking about this rough time he went through and like how he saw himself in the mirror and things that he would feel about himself like negatively, and how he overcame that, and like now he's past that. It was a lot. Woo! It was a lot. I'm fine. You're crying, not me. So before that, the summer before that, I saw Twice at Truist Park. It's a football stadium, and I don't like that venue. I don't want to do football stadiums. I don't want to be outdoors because it was not covered on top, and it was July. That shit was hot. It was hot. Okay, but the girls ate. They felt very far away, and the production was nice. They had really cool sets. They had cool props. They had fireworks. The end of the show had fireworks. I was like, dang. So that was a little surprise, and I love Twice. The best part of that show, I think, was the solo stages. I really like Jihyo because she teased her new album coming out. That was fun. And Jihyo is my girl. Jihyo is my bias from Twice. So before this, then I think that was the spring that I saw Mamamoo with a bestie of mine. I got her into K-pop, and her favorite group was Mamamoo, which I told her it would be. I said, Mamamoo is for the lesbians. Sorry. And that's just how it is. And there are some other groups like that, but I told her, I said, you're going to like Mamamoo, trust. And then so she did, and they were amazing. They were at, I think, State Farm Arena, and it was cool. I think the best part of the show, I'm a big Aya stan. Aya is my favorite song from them, and they do like an intro in the concert, And that was the best part of the show. I have rewatched that intro, I don't even know how many times. It's been a while. Actually, I need to do that. But after that show, like for a year, I was watching that intro on YouTube so often. They're amazing. Their vocals, that's what they're known for in K-pop. Their vocals are great. And actually, I might want to see Hwasa, one of the members. She's my favorite. She's going on a solo tour. Might be going to that. I think it's happening this spring. So I need to like check up on that. And then before that was my first concert ever in November of 2022. And that was ATEEZ Break the Wall tour. They actually toured twice that year, but I got into them right about the time that they were actually here in my state. And so I kind of was too late to the party, but it gave me enough time. Then they toured again the same year. COVID pushed all that back, but Break the Wall tour was amazing. I have the DVD and the photo book from it. It's up here. And it was a perfect first concert. I will say I was very far back because I got the cheapest tickets in the venue, which was State Farm Arena, and they were like $65, which is a crazy price comparison from that to the next time I saw ATEEZ because I got VIP and they were so much more popular. But yeah, I got cheap tickets and it was like in the back, the top and the back. And I went with my brother. This next time too. But it was great. I think the coolest part about that concert was the opening. The opening they did felt very culty. It's their song New World, and it's kind of, they all come out with cloaks and they're like marching, and it was like, whoa, it feels culty for sure. And the song New World is still in my top 5 of all AT songs because of the memory that I hold with it of seeing them for the first time. That was the opening song. I still envision that every time I hear it. So it's a really magical song, very mysterious, very intense, I would say. So yeah, that's my concert experience. I'm gonna take a break real fast and then we'll be right back. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is musicals and musical culture because I have been attacked. I have been attacked from multiple people. Some of these people I would call my friends, and it's just for the way that they are anti-musical or don't like musicals. And I don't get it. Like, I truly don't get it. But, I mean, it's fine, I guess. Everyone has taste, right? Everyone likes their kind of movies and such. But it's okay to not like musicals. I just personally don't get you. And we might not relate. So keep that in mind when befriending me. The reason, like, I think there's such a pipeline to the other type of music that I like. Because, like I was saying about concerts, I like high performance. Almost always. Like, I think it's okay for artists to sit down on a stool and sing. Occasionally, I do want that. I want to hear like vocals or just standing with a mic. But overall, I'm going to normally choose high performance and choreography and dance and like campiness. Because that concert, that was the best concert I've ever seen, the ATEEZ one, that felt like a movie. It felt like a musical because they told us such a story the whole time, and I do know that they hired a very professional director for that, like to direct the concert, and they've worked with him before on this show Kingdom, where it's like, oh my god, Kingdom, I could talk about Kingdom. It's like a TV show where they have a bunch of K-pop groups go there. They do their own songs. They also do each other's songs with the groups that are there. And they're competing, but the budget for that show was insane. And it's so me-coded. There has never been a show that is more me-coded. I promise you that. Because, okay, it's reality TV, but also, like, it's a survival show, right? But people don't get eliminated as you go. It's 6 K-pop groups are there the whole time, and then at the end, they award a winner. But everyone stays the whole time. And they have different challenges, like, this is going to be a dance unit competition. This one's going to be a vocal. This one's going to be a rap. And then also they would perform as like their whole team, cover each other's songs with literally the budget was crazy. It was like a full on music video, but live. So they had to perform it live. They had to sing live. They had to dance. They had to act. They had like acting scenes for every song and action scenes. They were like full on fighting, like, I mean, stage fighting to like create their vision of the whole performance. It was crazy. So that's why I love it. It was very much giving musical. And I'll probably talk about Kingdom again on another episode because there's more to talk about there. But this is why I like musicals, because it normally does tell a story. It normally does have, it combines acting, dancing, singing, and also I'm like a whore for set design. I love it. I love like backdrops, love crazy props. Also, since I grew up doing ballet dance and like dance in general, it's not theater. I don't consider myself a theater kid. I'm not super into Broadway musicals. I do love them, and I like really support the art and the artist. I think they're incredibly talented. Broadway is one of the hardest things, but I do like musical movies better, I think. But they have to be done right, because there's a handful of musical movies that I do not like. I would say my love for musicals started from High School Musical. I mean, High School Musical is where it all started, I believe. Disney really did that to me, and I thank them. I still love High School Musical to this day and watch it on a regular basis. Like, if I don't watch High School Musical once a year at least, check on me. Actually, if I don't watch High School Musical twice every year, check on me. All three of them. Then my brother loves them too. So that's something I love, that like my brother and I can share that, and we both really love it. We love the music. I mean, the songs are so good and it's so impressive. Disney Channel had so much talent, and like especially back then, the girls were girling. High School Musical had so much talent. Lemonade Mouth loved that, had so much talent. And so I just really liked musical because it combines, you're not just getting to watch things, you're getting to watch music videos and listen to music while you watch a movie. It's getting to tell a story through music. And I guess I just don't understand why some people don't like that. And some people think it's cheesy, some people think it's camp, and I know it is. And that's why I like it. I like cheesy. Because not in my food though, or make my tummy hurt. But yeah, High School Musical was great. I think my favorite one of them is probably the first. It's hard to choose, but the first one is I think it's the most cheesy. It's the most Disney original film, and that's why I love it. And actually, I named my first podcast episode The Start of Something New. Guess where I got that title? Guess where I got that? The very first song of High School Musical is The Start of Something New, and it's probably my favorite song in the movie or in the whole franchise because it's so fierce. It is the start of something new, and I love it. I love Vanessa Hudgens. Huge stan here. Huge stan here. And love Zac Efron too. He was great. Going off of Zac Efron, let's talk about Hairspray. Hairspray is one of probably top 5 musical movies for me. I think it's amazing. It's a great musical in general, but the movie did really well for me. I think it did well for the rest of the world. But the cast, amazing. Nikki Blonsky, who played Tracy, was so great, and she had not done much at the time. Like, you hadn't ever, I think that was her film debut, I think, or maybe it was close to. I mean, definitely her big break. And she didn't do that much other than that movie, but seeing her do that breakout role, you're the lead, you are, that's your first thing, you're singing, dancing, and acting, and she did amazing. She did so amazing. And the rest of the cast was so great. I love it. It's so funny. It's such a good comedy, and I actually need to watch it. And you know who's in that? Well, Zac Efron, but you know who else is in that? Brittany Snow as Amber. She was so cute as that role, and like, she's the good mean girl. She's the mean girl, but you still like her because she's like iconic slay mama down boots. Like she was still really cute, super talented, and going off of her, Pitch Perfect. Pitch Perfect is not as musical, like Broadway musical. It's not like the same amount of cheesy, but it's still a musical movie, and it's, I guess, more modern, and I think more people would like it even if they don't like musicals, and it's really in my top movies for sure. It's combining really cool music. It's modern songs, so like songs from the 2000s. Well, I mean, they did throw some like 90s pop in there, I think. But all three of these movies, the cast, amazing. The cast, amazing. And music, amazing. I remember, like, I was pretty young when the first movie came out, and I think we watched it on like Redbox right away. And it was so life-changing for me. I was like, I want to be a pop singer. No, actually, I'm gonna be a pop singer, which is a reoccurring thought that I have, is that I should just, be a pop singer in the future. And I don't sing. But part of me wants to take like voice lessons. That would be lit. And I don't know how far I would plan to get with it. I just think singing is fun. But then if I did it for a job, would I not think it was as fun anymore? I don't know. If I was a good singer, though, I'd be unstoppable, and y'all would not hear me. Y'all would not stop hearing me. I would never shut up. Sorry, but I would just never shut up. Like, I'd be singing, riffing all the time. I would be Cynthia Erivo. Whoa, whoa. Actually, edit that. Kiki Palmer. Whoa, whoa. She ate that. Which, speaking of musical movies, I have not seen Wicked. And I do want to. I'm just kind of waiting for her to be streaming for free, or not for free, but streaming on something that I have already. I wasn't really thinking about like paying for that. And I have patience when it comes to new movies. I can wait a little bit. But I'm excited to see it. I don't know if I'll love it, but I think I'll like it. I like Ariana Grande. I've liked her for so long, like many people. And Cynthia Erivo, I didn't know anything about her until this, but I think she's a great singer. And I've watched interviews of the two of them. I know like people make fun of it, but they seem really close, and I like both of them as people. I like their chemistry as well. I think it'd be a good movie. I don't know any of the other characters, because I do like The Wizard of Oz, but I'm not like a diehard stan for The Wizard of Oz. Another movie musical that I need to talk about right this instant, specifically right now, because I've been reliving this one hardcore right now, is Burlesque. Pause for the movie Burlesque. A moment of silence for the movie Burlesque. It came out, I believe, in 2010, and I don't know when I watched it. I'm pretty sure I saw it on TV, like cable TV, when I was a child, or however old I was. I probably wasn't old enough to watch that. However, I mean, it's got a vulgar concept, but at the same time, it's made so classy in the movie. Like, yes, there's a scene where she's Allie, who's Christina Aguilera's character, when she's in her staying with that guy in his apartment, and she does see, I think he has like a little scene with his, you see the body, and the body was T. But that was like, it was still made kind of cutesy, kind of fun in that scene. And you don't see too much. I really don't think that it was a very adult movie. It's just an adult concept. But because my parents, they weren't super restrictive with like what we watched. I was a SpongeBob kid. Like I was, we were allowed to watch things. But if something was on TV that they were like, oh, this is a good movie, we watched it. Especially my dad. And they didn't care too much. Sometimes my mom would be like, cover your eyes type of thing. And I'd be like, but for if anyone's listening couldn't watch that, I was holding my hand over my eye but peeking through. Okay, who hasn't, right? But Burlesque altered my brain as a child, and it made me like, I think that movie made me fall in love with performance on another level, like, and musicals and singing and dancing, performing and costumes. It's like everything that goes into a performance. That movie made me fall so much more in love with it. And I've really been wanting to watch this movie, but it wasn't streaming anywhere. I gotta look again because I don't own this movie, which is crazy. I really need to. Oh my god, now that's my new obsession. I need to order this. I need a DVD. But anyways, it's such an amazing thing because getting Cher and Christina in the same movie, and I have been watching on YouTube what I can find of behind the scenes clips that I've never seen before, behind the scenes interviews that I've never seen before. And watching them design the set of the club was so cool to me. Like, it's because I love the idea of clubs. I love like the club scene, and I'm not even someone who like wants to go to a club every weekend or any weekend. Like I'm not that person. But if clubs looked like they did in the movies or like they did in Burlesque, I would be at the club weekdays too. I would be there every day. I would work there. Hello. Like, I would be there all the time supporting Cher. I'd be watching her sing Welcome to Burlesque every single night. So that was a great behind the scenes videos that I found. The movie is truly so inspiring, or it was to me. And I think it's gotten so much better with age. That's another cool thing, was I think it had a great cast back in 2010, but I feel like it didn't do as well as it has with time and age. Like, now it's become an iconic movie. Now it's become especially a staple in like gay culture, but it wasn't back then. You know what I mean? Like, some things just do that. They become more iconic and better as time goes on. So I think that's definitely happened with that one. And how does Cher look like she does in that movie? And like, she's obviously so much older. That was 2010. That's 15 years now. And she looks great now still. Christina looks amazing now. Like, she does, there's no way. I don't remember how old she was when I looked it up. I think she's like 40s, 40 something. She doesn't look it. I want to look like that. I'm going for that Christina build. I've been listening to Bound to You on repeat. Listen to Bound to You by Christina. It's so emotional, and it's also, it sounds like a sad song about love, but it's not. It's like, it's really just in love. It's very romantic. And my favorite song from the movie is probably not that. It's probably either Express or Welcome to Burlesque. So one's a Cher song, one's a Christina. I can have both as favorites, okay? Because there's a favorite for each. All right, but yeah, the performance of that movie, amazing, brain altering. Anyways, let's move on. So I'd like to introduce a brand new segment called Leckiju's Cues. So what this is going to be, I'll probably post on my stories, either Instagram, probably both Instagram accounts, which is, I'm at Leckiju and at Leckiju Kpop. And then maybe on TikTok as well, just to get some like viewers' feedback, some like audience questions, okay? So this is funny that this was the very first question that was typed. This was the very first thing that was typed. Just keep that in mind. It says, "Are you only attracted to Koreans?" So love that this was the first question, and it was from someone I'm not familiar with, but anyways, are you only attracted to Koreans? The short answer is no. I'm one of those people who thinks that, like, I genuinely could fall in love with anyone, okay? This is just a short spiel of how I feel on this topic. I genuinely feel like I could fall in love with anyone. Could be man, could be woman, could literally be anything. Like, not anything, okay? Let me take that back. Could not be animals, right? But I genuinely feel like I could fall in love with anyone, whether their like ethnicity is whatever, their age, whatever, gender, whatever. But that is like outside of my type. I do have a type, and I'm not afraid to talk about that and say that I do have a type. I if I were choosing, I typically choose a Korean. And that's not to say like I've never, like, that's crazy to say, oh, I've never felt attracted to someone who wasn't a Korean. Like, you got me messed up. That's like not very human, but I typically do choose Koreans. I just think they're the most beautiful to me. To me. Emphasis on to me. Emphasis on it's my opinion. Right? Okay, moving on, next question. So this is from, so they said, how to be more confident in public as an openly trans/queer person. Okay, so very nice question. Love this. Because I would love to give advice to you. And if anyone needs advice, send it in. Send in. I will help you, or I'll try. So for this one, I will say, I can't really speak on behalf of like a trans community, because I feel like I don't know what you're going through. I don't know how that feels to feel that inside of you. Okay. And I've always said that, like, when I've been around people who are not pro-trans at all, they definitely say like, it's a choice. It's this, it's that. And for me, I have never understood that, because I'm like, I can't say what is and what's right and what's wrong, because I've never felt that inside of me. Okay. I thought I felt the same way about gay people. I thought they were, choosing to do that. I thought they were choosing to be that way. And like, why would anyone choose that? And it like, because that's how I was like raised to think. And that's what like everyone around me was saying, it was telling me. But then, you know what? All of a sudden I feel that inside me. I'm like, well, why? Like, obviously I didn't choose this. I'm having these feelings. They're not coming from nowhere. So it's like, then that was really brain altering. So I will say, I've never felt trans. I don't know what that feels like and what you're going through, but I'm still going to try to help. So as a trans or queer person, how to be more confident in public. I definitely think start with, it's very helpful to have people around you that love and support you how you are or how you want to be, because it's definitely hard to find. I don't know what your situation is on friends, family, anything like that, but it's important to at least have someone, literally one person, even if that's me, one person, have friends online, have people in your real life that you can communicate with, talk about how you feel and not feel judged for it, and people who like empower you and love you no matter what. That is very important, because people don't understand how much that affects you and how much that influences how you go about yourself, and how you take care of yourself is how other people take care of you and treat you. So I think that helps. I think you should be your number one fan if possible. And I do think that you should love yourself, but it does definitely help to hear it from other people and to get validation from people you care about and you love and you trust. Okay? Because you don't need validation from people. That's the truth. You really only need it from yourself, but it helps to have validation from other people that you trust and love. So yeah, that's like mostly my advice on how to be more confident. Obviously, if you don't have people, or you never have no one, I'm here. Literally message me, literally DM me. You have my Instagram. Literally comment if you're open to that. But if you want to direct message me, do it. I will be that person if you don't have anyone. And we can talk. I can talk on the phone. Like, what else am I doing? I mean, I am busy. I am very busy. But if I have time to sit down and film this, I have time to talk to you. Even if it's super late, I don't care. So other than finding your person, the self-work is definitely hard. The self-work is hard. It's hard to, one, find out who you are, two, find out what you want to be and what you want to become. And then also, like, how are you actually going to achieve that? That's like the three things. So what am I now? what do I want to become, which might be very different or might be close to the same, just a better version. And then 3, how you're going to get there. So putting a plan, basically, putting a plan into action. You need to do some like self-analysis of like what am I right now? And then you need to think what you want to become, like as far as your personality, as far as your career, your job, your relationships, and how you want to feel about yourself. So say in this, maybe you start not so confident and you want to become confident. Then you need to look into every way to create your own path, every way of how you're going to get there. So think about like, maybe I should dress different. Maybe I should hold myself and present myself different when I'm in public, every time I leave the house. Or maybe that starts at home, how you present yourself at home, how you take care of yourself, and do it. Do it. I need oh my God, why did I say Nike? I almost said Nike. Is it Nike or Adidas? I'm actually going to get killed. But I was going to say just do it. I need to just do it. Because you have to take the steps. Like, even if it's hard, like if you want to, feel better about yourself physically and you think the way to get there is to do more cardio, to run on the treadmill for 30 minutes, to do a workout, do that workout. Do it. Because, so no one's going to do that for you. Okay? People can encourage you, but they're not going to do it for you. I can't make you confident. I can encourage you. Right? So that's what I'm trying to do right now. And I can talk to you more, but that's me encouraging you, but you do have to take the steps yourself to achieve that, obviously. That's why I say like you're your number one biggest fan, because you are the one person who's actually going to get you where you want to be. That was a lot. So that was my little news segment. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's Leckiju's Cues is what we're calling it. I think it's a super cute name. I think that's enough yapping today. So today we talked about music. We talked about the Grammys, Lady Gaga's new album Mayhem. Go check it out. I talked about K-pop, ATEEZ by XG, my faves, and I talked about musicals. So before my next episode, if Burlesque is streaming in a theater near you, go watch it. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and share with some friends that you think would enjoy the podcast. This podcast is also going to be available as a video podcast on Spotify, so if you prefer to watch there, you definitely can, and you can follow me there as well. All my socials are going to be linked. I even have my Pinterest on there. You can check out my Pinterest, see what I'm pinning, because I'm like very pro Pinterest. So this has been the Leckiju Lounge. Till next time, love you, bye.